Welcome to Focus here on Classic Country 980 and 105.3 FM. I'm Don Pritchard, and I have a very special guest with us today, Ron Gidcumb. He's a singer-songwriter from Harrisburg, Illinois, and I'd like you to meet him right now. Ron, say hi to the folks.
Hey, everybody. How you doing today? I'm really happy to be here today, Don. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, Ron. We are going to be listening to some of the music that he's put together from his album, Gravel, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it just as much as I have. So, Ron, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Like you said, I'm from Harrisburg, Illinois, which is southern Illinois, right down on the southern tip. I was born and raised here. It's a rural farming community, a lot of coal mines, a lot of farms, just kind of a slow pace, kind of what I like. Grew up here and kind of traveled back and forth between Nashville, Tennessee. Started going down there when I was in my 20s, and I'm 51 now, so I'm starting to get up there, but finally doing something in music anyway.
That's great. That's great. I understand you had some pretty strong musical influences, and I guess it was your mom's records that you just enjoyed hearing. That's
true. That's true. When I was about 15 years old, I was really falling in love with Hee Haw. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And Grinning with Buck and Roy. Sure. On the weekends, I'd watch that, and I just fell in love with country music and with the guitar. And my mom, she had the old records. She had Haggard, she had Willie Nelson, some Waylon, the Statler Brothers, kind of 60s and 70s country, 80s country. And one day she brought me her stack of records with it was like a label on the front, and it had each record, and it had the songs on there that she wanted me to learn from each record. So I spent about a month learning all these songs and just basically playing them for her and seeing if I was going to be any good at this, or if I was going to, maybe someday make some headway. But yeah, that's how it all started, was my mom's records.
What a wonderful story! That's a tremendous story, Ron. Thanks for sharing that. And then you started kind of playing some of the local watering holes around southern Illinois when you were 17.
I did, yes. I'd play the little bars and honky-tonks around Illinois. I was 17, had a little PA, a couple of guitars, and I would just play solo country stuff. I was writing songs, but I wasn't really playing them out yet. I hadn't really gained any confidence about what I was doing. I was just still kind of messing around toying around with ideas and trying to learn how to put songs together and make a song structure and all that. But yeah, I would bang out the covers all night long. I could do almost every Haggard song, and I could sit and play for 4 hours, no problem, at 17, and never sing the same song twice.
At what point did you start writing songs? I think you were young when you started writing them, actually.
I was young when I started. I think when I really started to kind of figure out what I was doing, I was almost 18 when I started really figuring it out and starting to put some things together and playing some shows out with some of my original music. The problem is when you're a kid, basically, and you're not famous and that social media didn't exist, people don't know if they want to hear your original music or not. They don't really want to come and hear that, or they didn't at the time. They want to come and hear George Jones and that kind of stuff. But I stuck with it, and it was a passion of mine. So it was just something I knew I was going to do no matter what. Mm-hmm. So when I started, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to
ask you. You had a style of music that wasn't really the hottest thing at the time.
Yeah, when I went down to Nashville, they had labeled me. Some people called me Americana because it's kind of acoustic music, and I've kind of got a little bit of a bluesy voice. And somehow, someone along the way called me Americana Country Blues was the genre. So I started kind of using that term, and I don't know. I'd never really fit in Nashville. It seemed like either I was at some point I was too country, and at some point I wasn't country enough, and just kind of went back and forth with the powers that be down there off and on for, almost 20 years, really, by the time I was done and left for the last time.
Well, we've talked a lot about your history a little bit, and I think it's time to play one of your songs. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, please. I really appreciate it.
Tell me a little bit about the song Gravel. It's the title song from the album, And tell me a little bit about gravel.
Well, when you're around here in Southern Illinois, you got the highways and you got the hard road, and then you got gravel roads out here. There's farming communities, so there's a lot of gravel roads. And it's like when you turn 16 and you get your license, it's just like a rite of passage, You get in your car with your buddies or your girlfriend, whatever, and you just take off and you get outside of town, and you can kind of do what you want within reason, and as long as you're not bothering anybody, you can get out and see the beautiful country and just have a good time. And it used to be a safe place to be. Didn't have to worry about the law. Didn't have to worry about trouble. It was just you can just go out and cruise around, listen to, and stop when you needed to, and look at the mountain. And we got a little mountain here in Southern Illinois called Eagle Mountain. Get out and look at the mountain. Or we got a lot of lakes and a lot of streams, and the Ohio River is only about 20 miles from where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the thing to do. And Don, it still is the thing to do. The kids I know today, young people around here, they're still doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And that's what the song
it's
Gravel
all about
is
gravel.
about.
Well, let's listen to Gravel by Ron Gidcumb here on Classic Country 980 and 105.3 FM.
There ain't a thing going on around here. Got a full tank of gas, half a case of beer. Baby, let's put it down in gear. Head out to the gravel. Call your friends, then call mine, and tell them all to meet us at the city limit sign. We could all use a real good time out here on the gravel. You can roll that gravel to the county line, out past the creek by the old coal mine, back to where my granddaddy made moonshine, all before my time. Then ride it all the way back into town, out to the levee as the sun goes down. The only way to watch the world go round is out here on the gravel. And I'll try not to drive too fast. You can turn the radio up full blast, sing along as the world goes past. Out here on the gravel, yeah. Who knows, baby? Maybe later on tonight we'll jump in the river by the full moonlight, run around like we just ain't right. Out here on the gravel, you can roll that gravel to the county line, out past the creek by the old coal mine, back to where my granddaddy made moonshine. Once upon a time, then ride it all the way back into town, out to the levee as the sun goes down. The only way to watch the world go round is out here on the gravel. Yeah, you see that mountain standing tall up ahead? Well, I could go and climb it like my daddy did, but the county cut a road and I'd rather drive instead. Out here on it, you can roll that gravel to the county line, out past the creek by the old coal mine, back to where my granddaddy made moonshine. 1929, then ride it all the way back into town, out to the levee as the sun goes down. The only way to watch the world go round is out here on the gravel.
Ron Gidcumb, my guest in focus today, talking about gravel and singing about it too. And sounds really good there, Ron.
Thank you, Don. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it.
I mean, the gravel roads are the best. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love them. And
Me too,
you'd
me
gone
too.
back and forth from Nashville, Tennessee, trying to see, just what they'd think of you and try to make it there. And you finally decided to move back to Illinois for good. Tell me about that and what you've been doing since then.
Well, about I guess it was about 8 years ago or so. My wife and I had been in Nashville for about 10 years, and we finally decided that it was time for us to start a family, and we were going to, do that. And so we moved. We decided we wanted to move back home, back to Southern Illinois, and raise our family around the grandparents and the people that we know and the people we love. And, your hometown and your home area, that's a big part of who you are and what you are. And we wanted our child to experience that and kind of have the upbringing that we did, and then they could make their own choices later about cities and things like that. And so we did that. We had a plan. We moved home, and we ended up having a beautiful little girl named Perla, and she's 6 years old now. And so it's kind of one of those things where musically it kind of went on hold, with the exception of writing and just kind of picking around on the front porch. Everything kind of went on hold while we were raising her and, getting her into school and all that. And now she's almost 7. So last year we had made a decision kind of together as a family that if I was going to do this, I was going to give it one more good try and really go for it. And, I went on a radio show in Southern Illinois last year, and some people heard it, and some people made that into like a little recording that got around. And then I was invited to come on a TV show, and the TV show was canceled because of the COVID, but it's rescheduled again for now. But then I met some people and opened some shows for a guy named Jason Evans. He's a singer-songwriter from Kentucky. Actually met him at a David Allan Coe show up in Danville last year, and he's just been kind of a mentor to me. He's up and coming. His star is really on the rise, and he's out on tour right now across the country. And he helped me out and gave me some advice and had me come and open some shows for him. And then that's actually how I got the record with Green River Records was through Jason Evans. And him and his manager Joe Barry, they heard my stuff and liked what I was doing and liked what I was about, and offered me the opportunity to go down to Steelhouse Recording Studio in Salina, Tennessee, and cut my very first record. And that's what I did in January.
I bet that felt good. I bet that felt so good.
I bet
it
you
did. Yes, it did.
That must have been something. That must have been something. Well, the second song we're going to hear from the album Gravel is called "Moving On," and I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about that
Yes,
song.
I can. Moving On is it's a love song. You could say it was written for my wife and little girl, just about being motivated. Just trying to find motivation in the daily things and just to keep going with whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be singing or, anything kind of a bigger picture, just whatever you're doing. You use your family for motivation and you lean on them when you need to. And that's what the song is really about, just moving forward with life and being positive and just moving on.
All righty, let's listen to it. Here's "Moving On" by Ron Gidcumb.
I've been drinking, I've been dreaming, I've been driving all night long, all the while believing in an old Merle Haggard song keeps me moving on. I've been rambling, I've been roaming, I've been running toward the dawn, trying to find tomorrow before yesterday's gone, keeps me moving on. It keeps me moving on. Like when I see a Sunday morning sunrise in the sleepy eyes of my little girl, I've been wishing on a star, quietly debating if I'll ever get that far. Keeps me moving on. Well, I've been broken, I've been beaten, but I sure ain't backing down. Words I've left unspoken keep me firmly off the ground, keep me moving on, keep me moving on. Like when I see a Sunday morning sunrise in the sleepy eyes of my little girl, or when I feel her mama right beside of me, balancing our little world. I don't have to look too far to find the words I need to write a song. Keep me moving on. Keep me moving on. Keep me moving on. Keep me moving on.
Ron Gidcumb is my guest in Focus today. We're playing some of the music from his album Gravel. That was Moving On. Great song there. Ron, that's a beautiful song, and I like that.
Thanks, man.
That,
I appreciate it.
Moving on
I'm
kind
proud
of
of
thing. Anyway, so you've got an album out on Green River Records. It's been out about a month, and is it too soon to ask you how it's, what kind of response you're getting from the record?
It's been pretty good so far. It's been good. There was a pre-sale and we did good on that, and then it's come out. We've been getting a lot of play, just like on Facebook and things. I've been doing radio interviews and trying to get some airplay and possibly get the songs put into rotation. When and where you can. But the response has been phenomenal, really, and I couldn't be prouder of it. The people down at Steelhouse Recording Studio, they're great, and it was like they've got a team down there of studio musicians, and the owner of the studio is a guy named Andy Smith, and he's just a phenomenal musician and engineer. And they let me have free range. The label, they let me choose the songs, they let me choose the instruments I wanted. They said whatever I want that I could have on the record, and so we got together and we put it all down, and that's what we came up with, and I'm proud of it, and I think it's going to do good.
Well, I think a singer-songwriter who has total creative control is in heaven.
Yeah, definitely. That's
it's when the record label says, we want you to do this, we want to package you this way, we want to put this on you, and you go, that's not me. That's not me. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, they definitely don't do that.
Well, that's wonderful. You've really got the best going here. We're going to close out the show with a song called, let's see, I've got here, Two Flags. Two Flags.
Two Flags, yeah.
And we're going to hear Ron tell us a little bit about what was the inspiration for this song. And if you've got a patriotic bone in your body, folks, you're going to get a tear in your eye. This is a wonderful song, wonderful song. Now, Ron, tell me, what was the inspiration for it?
Sure. That song is written about a guy named Daryl Yarber. They called him Bird Dog. He was a guy from El Dorado, Illinois. He was a Vietnam vet. He was a very patriotic person, loved this country, loved his family, loved his hometown, just an all-around good guy. And I became friends with, he passed away before I got a chance to meet him, but I became friends with his son. And his son told me this story once, that he said his dad was so patriotic that he flew 2 American flags on their porch. And as a songwriter, when something like that, it's like the light bulb comes on, and you have to write a song about that, and that's what it's about.
Exactly right. Ron Gidcumb, the song is Two Flags.
Daddy flew 2 flags out in the front yard, in the front yard. Your red, white, and blue, Daddy are gonna die hard. Head of the family, the leader of the gang, man of God by any other name. In soul leather cowboy hat, faded overalls. Hell, I bet a man like that done damn near seen it all. And I said, Daddy flew 2 flags out in the front yard, in the front yard. Your red, white, and blue, Daddy are gonna die hard. For his dear old Uncle Sam, half a world away in a place called Vietnam. Made it out alive somehow, he made it home. Planted his own family tree, never motor home. And I said, Daddy flew 2 flags out in the front yard, in the front yard. Your red, white, and blue, Daddy are gonna die hard. Did the best he could to raise his kids upright. Taught them bad from good, don't you run from a fight. He loved his family, loved them right down to the bone. And he loved to watch that Barbara dancing out at Glen Old Jones. And I said, Daddy flew 2 flags out in the front yard, in the front yard. Your red, white, and blue, Daddy are gonna die hard, gonna die hard. Daddy flew 2 flags out in the front yard. Your red, white, and blue, Daddy are gonna die hard, gonna die hard.
Singer and songwriter Ron Gidcumb, my guest in Focus today. That song is called 2 Flags, and like I said, it puts a lump in your throat. Kind of reminds me of the songs that came out after 9/11, man.
Thank you, Don.
Great
that means
song.
a lot to me, brother. I appreciate that.
Man,
I'm proud of it.
You are. It should be. You should be. Well, we need that. We need that kind of song today more than ever. I'll tell you right now.
I agree.
We
I
need
agree,
this.
man.
Okay, what's next for Ron Gidcumb?
Oh boy. Well, I'm promoting this record, and hopefully I'm going to be out there this summer playing around and touring a little. And that's the main focus right now, is just trying to meet some people and get it into the hands and get it on the ears of some folks, and hopefully we'll get it on a few radio stations and start making some appearances around and get that thing out there.
Okay, well, the best of luck to you, man. How can folks find out more about the album, Gravel, and maybe get a copy of it, download it, whatever it takes. You know, I'm the old school 45 kind of guy. 45s and LPs.
I'd love to have a vinyl copy.
Yeah. That's how I grew up. Yeah, Facebook?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. Facebook, of course, Ron Gidcumb, and then there's Ron Gidcumb Music, which will be my music page on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can find the album. You can go to iTunes, or you can go to wherever you purchase music, and it'll be there for download. If you're on Spotify, you can go to Spotify. Please do. Please add me to your Spotify playlist. The whole album is on there. You can listen to it there. Everywhere that you buy music, you can put my name, Gidcumb, in the search bar, and it'll pop right up.
Yeah, I was going to spell that name for you because, it's just a little different name there, Gidcumb, and it's good because it's different. People are going to remember that name. Ron Gidcumb
is the name. And thank you so much for being my guest in Focus. Just has been a wonderful time to visit with you. I hope to see you, and we can visit in person, and it'd be a lot easier for us. But
yeah, that'd be great, Don. I sure appreciate it.
so
Thank you so much.
if you're over on this side of the state, on the Mississippi River side of the state, stop by the station and say hi.
I sure will. I'd love to.
And Ron Gidcumb, we're going to close out with a little bit of gravel right here on Classic Country 980 KSGM and 105.3 FM.
There ain't a thing going on around here. Got a full tank of gas, half a case of beer. Baby, let's put it down in gear. Head out to the gravel. Call your friends, then call mine. And tell them all to meet us at the city limit sign. We could all